Hello everyone, welcome to the Creatureworks Studios. I'm Tom Stewart, and in this video we're going to go through what it's like to be a puppet wrangler and kind of the proper etiquette when you're on a set as the wrangler and as the puppeteer. So sit back, relax, and let's do this.
So I'm just writing what's on, I'm just reading what's on the card then. Okay. What does a puppet wrangler do? And can I see your wrangling kit?
Now what a puppet wrangler's job is to make sure that the best character, the cleanest character, is on the screen. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that there's no rips and tears, that there's no hairs, strand hairs, dirty mouths, nothing. That's your job as a puppet wrangler. Also to basically maintain and repair the puppet while it's being filmed. So I'm going to show you my Wrangler kit, and in my Wrangler kit it'll be interesting to see and hear from you guys too on what you guys bring, and hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. My Wrangler kit I used to be a assistant cameraman. And this was my my briefcase, I guess, for that job. So basically I just use the same kit. I recommend just getting like a softer kit, and that way you're not lugging something this heavy around. But I open it up and I'll show you some of the things I have. So I just finished a job where I had a green character, so I had extra fleece in case I need to repair them. Something catastrophic happened and I need to repair an arm or a hand or something. Also brought white fleece. Let's see here. I brought clips, and this is for the puppet's shirt. Anything that they're wearing, if they're too big, and you just usually use these clips to clip on to the back of their shirts and stuff like that to tighten the shirts off. First aid kit, self-explanatory. I can fix my own stuff if I get hurt, but make sure you tell a PA if you do get injured. I have a poncho. This is like a cheapie. This is kind of important for many reasons. One, if you're caught out in the rain, you can use this. But as well, a reminder to me to also bring an extra pair of socks, extra t-shirts, that sort of thing. As a performer, I sweat a lot personally. And throughout the day, the last thing I want is for me to be a stinky, wet mess when I have to puppeteer with my armpit in someone else's face, if it's multiple puppeteers. Usually I wear all black, like black long pants and black t-shirt. That way I can slip it on again. People won't see me sweating through a black t-shirt. Wear all black, that sort of thing. Bring extra clothes. Headband. I wear a headband when I perform so I can put the microphone onto my headband. Or if you wear a hat, you can also clip the microphone onto your hat and run it down through the back of your shirt. Boop. Extra safety pins. I bring large ones. With the puppets that I build, the heads come out separate, and you have to safety pin them in the back, on the outside of the puppet, not the inside. Don't do it on the inside. I also bring gum because of hygiene. I want fresh breath. Hand sanitizer, deodorant. I don't bring spray deodorant, no Axe or anything. I just have a little travel stick that I use. And don't put it on in front of people. Go into the bathroom. Like, be courteous. Now onto the puppet gearing stuff. I use painter's tape for holding my script against wherever I'm puppeteering. So if I'm under a table, I can just use painter's tape. It's not going to mark up anything. This is a cable management thing. I always bring these. These are Velcro straps, and this is more for when they give me a monitor. So how I set up as a puppeteer is I'll have the monitor in front of me. I'll have my scripts onto the side. And usually they'll either boom mic me from the bottom, pointed up, or from the side, or I'll be wearing a lavalier, so one of these puppies. If that's the case, there's cords everywhere, so I just use these to kind of manage the cords. It helps me out a lot. I'm not, every time I move or adjust, I'm not moving and adjusting into cords. Boop. Extra snaps, so these are usually for arms or legs, depending on the puppet, or clothes, so I brought extra ones just in case the other ones break. I bring extra foam, and in that foam I put all my needles. So this works kind of on a if I need a piece of foam, I can just take from here, and I have a place to put my needles and find my needles. Along with the needles, boop, I bring white thread, and I also bring whatever color thread I'm using for that puppet. So if I had a green puppet, I would bring green thread. Pretty self-explanatory. Shout wipes. Shout! This is in case you get something on the puppet, you can wipe it off. Use these on an inconspicuous area first. So on the foot of the puppet, bottom of the foot, whatever. See if it stains them. If it doesn't, then you can use these to get the stain out, or on yourself. Sharpie's pens. I also bring small tools like cutters for rods, if I have to cut a rod for some reason, if it's sewn in the arm, and just whatever. Never know when you might need these. Pair of pliers, that sort of thing. Hot glue gun. So hot glue guns are great for quick fixes. On a set, you don't have time if you're in between a take and the director, something happens where the rod comes out. It's supposed to be attached in, you sew it up. I mean, my puppets are made so that you can attach and detach the rod, but say you pull it out and the brass piece comes out or something, then that way you can quickly hot glue it in. Not the best, but it'll last for that scene, and then after you can fix it. As well as boop, glue sticks. Now this one's a high temp gun. I bring a small gun just for those quick fixes. This one. So I've been on many shoots, and last minute they were like, oh, it'd be great if the character had a phone or was like talking on the phone and then whatever. I found this at the dollar store. It is like a kid's phone. It was filled with candy, emptied the candy, and there we go, there's a phone. So it's saved the day twice for me, where they're like, oh, it'd be great to have a phone, and you don't want to use a real phone because that's just a pain in the ass to attach onto a hand. So get a fake phone. So cell phone battery. So bring one of these, a cell phone bank, I think they're called. So just bring one of these, charge it up, have it on the ready, and that way you're not plugging your phone in somewhere, worrying about it getting stolen or taken. Or on one shoot I went to, somebody, we all packed up. I helped them pack everything up. We were just about to leave. We left. We started driving, and the person all of a sudden was like, I forgot my phone plugged in the hallway, and we go back. And when you're in Toronto traffic at 2:30, the last thing you want to hear is let's go back. You've now tagged on an extra hour or more, depending on the traffic. So one last thing is to make sure you bring a cable for your phone, obviously, and this. Don't bring headphones. No one wants, you shouldn't be listening to music on set. That's a no-no, so just to let you know. But the charging cable is always good to have, so you can plug it into your battery and charge your phone. I'm the emergency contact for my kids, so if anything happens, I'm the one that people are going to get a hold of. So just, bring your cable. Make sure your phone's always charged. Also bring a razor, small little razor in case I have to cut into the puppet. Scissors sometimes won't do, so it's good to have that. Another thing is a flashlight. I just have a mini kind of flashlight. Last but not least, pair of scissors. I bring just tiny snips.
Can you describe in detail what puppet wranglers do?
So now you're the puppet wrangler on set. If you're performing in your puppet wrangler, you're also going to have to do these things, so listen carefully. Here's a puppet. Ordinary puppet. Now, one thing you'll always want to do is look at the overall condition of your puppet. Make sure, say for instance here, his cuff is inside his shirt. You want to adjust that. So you're just doing all the wardrobe needs of this puppet. What you could do if it's an ongoing problem, sorry, I don't know if I hit the mic. So what you could do if it's an ongoing problem is if this keeps slipping down for some reason, you just put a little stitch in here to keep this from sliding and going up every single time. It would just be a lot easier for you and the puppeteer, and for continuity's sake, that is always in place. Okay, so with hair, you'll always want to make sure that the character has the exact same hairdo for the entire shoot, unless it's saying not to or whatever, unless it's otherwise noted in the script. But for some unknown, let's say for some unknown reason, there's a cowlick in this character's hair that won't go down, it keeps flopping up or whatever. You can use just a little bit of scissors and trim that down so it's the same kind of hairstyle from time to time. Don't bring white glue, don't try to, or hairspray, anything like that. That should all be done prior to you guys shooting in the making of the puppet. Don't do any of that stuff. You don't want to be spraying hairspray or dripping white glue all over the floor while filming is taking place or during while the crew is there. This should all be done prior to. So you're just looking at the overall cleanliness of the face, making sure that if there's hairs like that in the mouth, that's all out. You can use your thumb and quickly go through it, blow it. You can also use a bulb. I used to have a bulb in my cameraman's kit, in my Wrangler's kit, my kit, and blow out anything. Some people use hair dryers, and some people will use hair dryers for the inside too to dry it out. Or one of those boot dryers. So you could buy a boot dryer that sits and you plug it in and it basically blows hot or cold air through the boot. You could do that with these too, so they don't degrade on the inside and the sweat will be whisked away. You're looking at the nose as well. The thing about Antron fleece is it picks up like little particles and can like keep them embedded into the fabric. So you're doing that. Anyway, you're adjusting, just making sure everything is perfect. With the clothes, obviously, if you need to do give the character new clothes, you're taking the head out, and this one's safety pinned in, I believe. Yep, safety pinned in. So that's the back. You don't want a safety pin in, because if you safety pin in and it comes unlocked and someone puts their hands in there and tries to get it out, you don't want to do that. So make sure the safety pin's always on the outside. But with clothes, if you need to change the clothes, the head should pop out and then the clothes should go on without the head. You don't want to put clothes over top of the head. If you can't, if it's sewn in, then obviously you have to. But if not, then yeah, you want to take the head out first and then put the clothes on. So you're just making sure the clothes are all right. If say he has a collar here, that it's not sticking out like that, unless they want it like that. Everything's nice, it's all whatever, then all clean and lint free, that sort of thing. Once that character, you think that character is fine for that particular scene, what I like to do is I quickly get my phone and take a shot of it. So I'll take a photo of the character right before the shoot, and that way if there's not a continuity person there or wardrobe person, then you are that continuity person. So for instance, if in one shot or at the beginning of the shoot, he has, say his hair's like this and he's all messy like that, and he's talking, carrying on, cut, go for lunch, come back, who knows, like this could have been like packed away and then his hair's like this. You want to use those photos to refer back to what the hair looked like and try to get it again to look like what it looked like in the previous shot. So that way there's not a continuity error. So one scene or one shot he's talking to somebody, and then the next scene it's like that, and then they cut again and his hair's like that. So you want to look at just small things like that. The back of the puppet as well, I look at too, and just try to keep that groomed as well. And that's, I know backs of puppets aren't going to be seen, but it's just overall maintenance of the character, making sure that everything down to the rods are in working order, everything's fine. His hands are, same with his hands aren't in some funky position. He's not pointing at something in one shot and then in the next shot he's like this. Some people won't even notice that, but if in the shot he's supposed to point to something, then yeah, make sure that for that shot that character, the puppeteer will also do that too, but just to adjust his hands so that it's in the pointing position, so that you can be like, whatever, what's that over there type of thing, or move along kind of thing, right? So that's your job as a puppet wrangler. You're in charge of the maintenance and care of the puppet.
Can you tell me about set etiquette and how I conduct myself while on set?
Let me talk to you about set etiquette. Now there's a couple things you should know when you're on set. A set could get really chaotic really fast, and all it takes is something small to happen, and it could snowball into a bigger thing. As a director, a person being the director, their job is to put out those fires, to manage everything that's going on set. So you always listen to the director. Usually on smaller shoots, the director is always right there, so you can touch base with the director, especially if you're the performer. As a puppet wrangler, you want to get in there, do your stuff before the cameras roll. Usually the camera people know that you have to step in right before the shoot just to make sure everything's fine. If nothing needs to be done in between takes, because sometimes the takes are very fast, then just stand there, but just keep an eye out and look. You can sometimes see over the director's shoulder with the monitor, or sometimes they set up a big huge monitor, or even just the puppet itself in real life. Just look, and if anything needs to be done, just wait until the director says cut, and then you can go in. Don't go in during a shoot, during the shot. Even if you see a hair, the director will say cut, then turns to the director, say, I just noticed a hair. He might do a playback just to make sure that the hair might be not being able to be seen, but if it is, then they make that call whether they want to reshoot that or not. But go in and do it then. Don't sit there and jump in mid-shot and be like, oh, wait, I just got to change the blah, 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 or I just noticed there's a little dirt on the nose. I got to wait for the shot to be over. Especially in this day and age, nothing is shot on film. It's all shot on video. Video is relatively cheaper. Once the puppeteer is done, you as a puppet wrangler can then take the puppet, take him off, redress, do whatever, put him on the stand, put him on the dryer, do that stuff. And then what I like to do too is just check in with the puppeteer, say, hey, do you need anything? If they need, you're kind of like I act as a little bit of a gopher type of person too. Oh, you need some water? Okay, I'll grab that for you. That sort of thing. Oh, I'll help you readjust. Oh, you want the monitor moved a little bit. That sort of thing. Before you move equipment though, if there's lights and other things, make sure you're checking in with that person in that department. So if the microphone's there and the puppeteer's like, yeah, just put that microphone down, they shouldn't be saying that. They know their place, but you as the non mic person, sound person, just say, okay, I'll let them know, and then just let the sound person know to move that. Don't take it upon yourself to move that equipment. A lot of this equipment looks like it's chintzy, and it's not. You'll see a little monitor about this big, and you're like, what, $50? No, it's a $2,000 to $3,000 monitor. So you want to be careful with stuff, and especially if it's not your stuff. If it's not your stuff, no touchy. That stuff does not belong to you. I could go on about film etiquette, but I guess the number one thing is don't be a jerk on set. You don't want to be known as the person that makes a shoot take longer, is like slow doing stuff, doesn't take initiative, that sort of thing. You won't be asked back. And I've seen it happen to many people, and not within the puppet industry, but on actual film shoots. You just want to get out of people's way, let them do their job, and they in turn will let you do your job. So yeah, hopefully that helps you in regards to puppet etiquette, what to expect as a puppet wrangler, and what you should do to make it cohesive between you and the puppeteer if you're the wrangler, and you and the production team as a puppeteer or as a puppet wrangler. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you shortly again.
All right, well, I think that's it for the questions, because there's nothing on this damn card. This world's an illusion. Don't believe everything you see. I'm out of here. I'm going home.
The Creature Works Studio.